Hello, dear students. So we read this problem which states that there are two stones that are thrown up simultaneously from the edge of a cliff. So here we have a cliff which is of 240-meter height, and one of them is thrown with an initial speed of 10 meter per second, and the other one is thrown with a velocity of 40 meter per second. Which one of the following graphs represents the time variation of the relative position of the second stone with respect to the first? Okay, so let's first try to find out at what time these stones come down. That's the first thing. Let's try to do that. So we can write that final displacement is always 240 only. So that is, let's take the upward direction as positive. So downward direction will be negative. So minus 240 for this one we'll calculate. That is u t1 uh, and minus half a t1 square. Okay, so that's the first equation. So this is going to be 5 t1 square, or I can write this as t1 square minus 2 t1 minus 5 fours are 20, and this is 8. This is equal to 0. So the roots of this equation, if you see here, you will be getting this t1 as 8 seconds. Okay, so the positive value will be 8 seconds here. So t1 equal to 8 seconds, we have found out. Then similarly, you can write for the second one minus 240, which is equal to 40, that is this value, into t2 minus half 10 t2 square. So this one will be t2 square minus 8 t2 minus 48, which will be equal to 0. So again, if you calculate this value, you will get this answer as 12 seconds. So the first one, that is 10 meter second per 10 meter per second, ball will come down and reach the ground in 8 seconds, and the other ball will take more time. So I don't want now these calculations. So let me rub all this and remember only the values. So the first ball going upward is 10 meter per second, and the second ball is 40 meter per second. And let's say this first ball is reaching here in a time t1 equal to 8 seconds. Now we'll have to find out where is the second ball at that particular time. Let's try to do that. So how much time will it take to go up? We can say v equal to u plus a into t. So 0 is equal to 40 minus 10 into t. So t will be 4 seconds to reach the topmost point, and it will take the same amount of time to reach down. That means it's going to take totally 8 seconds to come to the same position. So when the first ball reaches the ground, the second ball is somewhere here. Okay, after 8 seconds, the second ball is going to be at this particular position. Now, you can see that in all these graphs, one thing is common, that they're all starting from the origin, because here it has been told to find out what is the relative position of the second stone with the first. So when both of them are on the top of the cliff, the relative position is always going to be 0. So that's why it's starting with 0. Now, till the time time t equal to 8 seconds, that is the time when the first ball reaches the ground, you can see what is the relative velocity. Okay, so relative velocity is going to be 40 minus 10, that is 30 meter per second. That is going to be the relative velocity of ball ball 1 with respect to ball 2. During this entire time, this relative velocity will not be changing. So that I will write this value. Now we know that in the position time graph, velocity is basically the slope. So here it is a relative velocity type of graph here. Relative displacement diya hua hai. So the slope will also represent the relative velocity. So relative velocity जो होता है, ये आपका slope रहना चाहिए 30. तो आप देख सकते हैं कि 240 divided by 8. Okay, in all these cases, 240 divided by 8, 240 divided by 8, here it is not clear, but the slope is all 30 meter per second only, so there is no issue. So up to 8 seconds, one thing is sure, that the graph is going to be linear. So there is no doubt of that. That is clear. Now, after 8 seconds, what's going to happen? If you think that an observer is standing at the ground here, now ball 1 is not going to move, only ball 2 is going to move under the influence of gravity. So it is a case of a position time graph where there is an acceleration involved here. And what is the acceleration? Negative, because acceleration in the downward direction will take as negative. So in the position time graph, when you're having an acceleration involved, we know that you're going to get a parabola, and it's a negative acceleration, and therefore you will get a parabola which is going to be open down. So open down, you can see this and this cannot be a case, because parabola milna chahiye after time t equal to 8 seconds. तो यहाँ पे तो मिल नहीं रहा है, और यहाँ पे टाइम t इक्वल टू 8 सेकेंड के बाद एक में ओपन अप है और एक में ओपन डाउन है, तो नेगेटिव एक्सेलरेशन होने के कारण ये ओपन डाउन करेक्ट होगा, तो ये वाला आपका करेक्ट आंसर है. Okay, so I hope that you have understood this particular discussion. Thank you so much for watching.